What up, y'all? I'm just gonna put this. One second. I'm gonna put this on my stand. I probably should have set up earlier, but it's all good. There's just a lot to think about. We're living in historic times, and we're just going through the presidential election, going through the decision, which the media said that Biden is the president elect, not the voting. And while there's still corruption going on, possible fraud, the media has already claimed Biden as president. That's fine. There's just a lot to think about, and it's hard reading these comments. Reading what people have said about Trump. Is just brutal. And I would like to say when President Trump first became president, I was skeptical too. I didn't trust him because he was a billionaire, because he knew a lot of people and he had a lot of power. However, what I didn't know was his drain the swamp focus was what drove the media mad. As soon as he said he was going to drain the swamp and make America great again, the media was out to get him from the jump. They hated him. He confronted them. He called them fake news. Their ratings went down because no one likes the media. For the most part, no one likes the media because they're not trustworthy. And Trump called them out on it. Again, is Trump perfect? No. Has he had mistakes? Yes, just like anybody else. However, when Trump wanted and needed to flex his muscle on these world nations, he did just that, just like in China. He flexed his muscle on China. China can't maneuver with Trump. They just can't get through him and around him and get after us. They can't. Soleimani, the Iranian general that was responsible for the deaths of American soldiers, and his own people, he was eliminated by President Trump giving the direct order. What's funny is people are like, why did he do that? Well, this general was evil, but also, do you know how many Iranians after that were saying, yo, what President Trump did was wonderful. People are dancing in the streets. People are celebrating, saying thank you for taking him out, because he was a murderer. He was a mastermind of evil, and he wasn't doing his country any favors. His own people celebrated his death, his own people. And in 4 years, there's been relatively quiet stuff going on in this world. Thank God, with the president. We haven't been in a war, and he's been withdrawing troops. We have not been in a war in 4 years. I never thought I would see that. And he's trying to broker and create peace deals with Israel and these other Arab countries. And there's a couple other Arab countries who have agreed to these peace deals. I never thought I would see that. It's up to them to keep their word between with those countries. That the ball's in their court. However, the fact that they even attempted to talk and negotiate is incredible. And for the black people, this right here has been used against us for a long, long time. I'm not a Republican. I'm a conservative. I'm an independent. There's trouble on both sides. I get it. There's shady stuff going on the Republican side as well as the Democratic side. I know that. What I do know is the Democratic side has been the party of evil for a long, long time. Do you know the first 23 black congressmen, the first 23 ever elected or selected into Congress, were black Republicans? Before the Democratic Party even considered bringing those guys into their party, the first 23 were Republican. The Democratic Party, they were the direct descendants of the KKK. It's documented, it's proven. When the South seceded, so did the Democrats. They basically just like, yeah, we're gonna do our own thing. Republicans were They're the ones that created the Emancipation Proclamation, with obviously Abraham Lincoln was in charge of that. But a lot of them supported that. They supported him. Some didn't, but most did. Yeah. And going back, looking back, and all the way to now, President Trump, up until his presidency, was never called a racist. And you've seen these photos of him with Jesse Jackson, him with Spike Lee, him with Tupac, hanging out with Tupac. Trump's a smart man. He knows who to hang out with. He knows where to focus his mind at. He's a businessman. He knows deals. He knows relationships are so important. And he's hanging out with Biggie. He's hanging out with, I think Kobe. All these black people. Never once was he called a racist. Even Herschel Walker, he's supporting him big time. He just said, he posted a video. I've known President Trump for 37 years. And I've never thought of him as a racist one time. Was he paid to say that? Heck no. 37 years is a long time to know somebody. If you know someone for that long, you can figure out what side they belong to. If anything, you would not be a friend of a person for 37 years if you view them as a racist. If you have a white friend or a Spanish friend, whatever, you're the opposite. You would not be a friend with someone. You would feel uncomfortable. You would feel disrespected. No, you would disassociate yourself with that person for viewing your skin color as a problem. Herschel Walker said, I've never seen a problem with President Trump. And I've been friends with him for 37 years. And that speaks volumes. And now Herschel Walker is getting destroyed by these black celebrities, by LeBron James, by Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe. Come on, brother. I love his show. I love Undisputed. That's a separate issue. But man, you coming out here with the Black and Mild and making Black and Mild and your Henny on TV with the do-rag, because all black people do that. Man, he made us look bad for a moment. And he stopped that too. Once he got called out for that mess, Uncle Shay Sharpe with the Henny, he never did that. Well, he pretty much stopped that. There was a couple episodes he did, but that's not the point. The point is, there's a lot of black love for Trump. I never thought I would see the day. People are walking away from the Democratic Party. They understand what's really going on here. Joe Biden, Hillary Clinton, the Clintons, they all were involved with the criminal law, the Criminal Act bill, which put black people in jail by record numbers, incarcerated. And a lot of them were put into jail for longer periods of time. Much more than the sentence or the conviction or was required for drugs or for aggravated assault. These brothers were in there longer than the sentences than was necessary. You can look up that stuff. I'm not saying if someone committed a crime, they need to be punished for that crime. However, for years and years and years, no, the National Crime Bill locked us up. Locked us all up. They could care less. We were called super predators. Super predators and rapists by Hillary Clinton. We were told not to ingratiate ourselves with white people because that would be a racial jungle, according to Joe Biden. He didn't want his children going into schools with other races because that's a racial jungle. Joe Biden, that man, you want to talk about politician? For 47 years, what exactly has he done? What has he done? What has he done for his party? What has he done for the black people? The same Joe Biden that said, when you go to a 7-Eleven store because the Indian accents. Really? Super professional, Joe Biden. Super professional. He's also said, there's just two things this past year or 2 years. Obviously, the most recent was, if you don't vote for me, you're not black. Oh, whoa, that wasn't an insult. Now, if Trump said that, he would have been arrested. It's over. They would have been, people have been breaking through the White House to find him. If you don't vote for me, you're not black. Joe Biden. Um, uh, Poor kids can be just as smart as white kids. And they said wealthy kids. Rich, poor, poor kids can be just as smart and bright as white kids. Another slap in the face. Again, if President Trump said that, he would have been assassinated. You know, he's already said, President Trump's already been a record. The KKK, these other hate groups, I condone them. They're not who, I don't associate with those people. But the media is like, you need to say right now that you're not a racist. You need to say, I already said it. I already did it. Have you not checked the tape? Then you say, I'm not a racist. Are you sure? Like, the media can never give this man a break. Also, the media. Remember he became president? What was the whole issue? Collusion, Russian collusion. They never found, and this has been going on for about, 3 years? 3 years of his presidency. He had to endure that mess. And they never found one shred of evidence that proved their point. They never found evidence that he was colluding with Russia. What we did find as the American people, what we found was that the Democrats and these other secret elite people who accused President Trump of colluding were involved with colluding with Russia and Ukraine, whoever. It's documented. They were the ones who were colluding, not President Trump. The media is full. They are full of snakes. They are wicked. The greatest fraud in the history of this country is the media. We would be united by now. Oh my goodness, we would be a superpower, but we would be united as one nation under God if it wasn't for this media. And you can see Fox, and they've strayed away, especially this election. He's the winner. Biden's a winner. Trump trash. Like they have this election. People have noticed who Fox News really is. I've known it for a couple of years now. For a while. I don't listen to the media. I don't watch them. They're all owned by the same people. Now Fox is part of the fake news committee. Welcome to the club. And they have talked about being traitors. They have completely betrayed the trust of President Trump. And that says a lot. It says a lot. Not once did Biden or anyone that we're going to stand behind President Trump as he's going through this collusion, COVID-19, all this mess, the riots. When did the Democrats, talking about uniting as one, they never did that. President Trump was by himself. Half the time his party was against him. COVID-19, where was he for COVID? He was right in the White House doing his job. Right in the White House doing his job. Stopping travel. Travel bans from China here. He's a racist. Xenophobe. Said, Nancy Pelosi. I don't even know her name anymore. I don't need to. It's a waste of a breath. Nancy Pelosi said that, why are you banning, in January, why are you banning travel to China? Because of COVID. China is responsible for the virus. China. Why would you do this? He banned it. He banned travel. He got destroyed for it. He banned travel from, Europe and other places, overseas travel to the States. He got destroyed for it. But then later on, they're like, oh, why didn't you ban it earlier? He could never win. He said, I did in January. We weren't sure what this virus was. November and December. We heard about it. It was forming. He had his team look at it back last year. But it became a worldwide phenomenon and a worldwide pandemic in January and February. That was around the time people started noticing, and these other countries were like, yo, we need to make precaution. We need to make some steps to stop this virus. So, President Trump banned travel, created masks and created hospitals with the gloves and the vaccine or the mask and other tools that were needed. Of course, the media saying people were dropping dead in the streets. The media and their wisdom. The media, by the way, who lied about, New York is overflowing with people. overflowing with people. There's no more hospital cots and all that, and doctors are dying. New York was bad. Don't get me wrong, but they had videotape of the hospitals being overflowing with patients. It was in Italy. The videotape, the footage was from Italy, but they said it was from New York. So they were lying, trying to hype people up and cause a panic. They didn't even get their facts straight. Doctors were being paid to inflate the number of people infected with COVID. Don't even get me started on that mess. The doctors who were noticing what was going on, the shady deals, they were censored. They were told to just don't worry about it. Keep doing your job. Keep doing your job. The COVID with a 99% success return to health rate, 99%. And the world, this COVID, like, think about it. 99% success rate, recovery rate. And we can't go outside. That's a different topic. The point is, President Trump has given money to HBCUs. He's given money to black universities when nobody did. Not even President Obama gave. He barely gave anything. You know how much flack I got when I told people I didn't vote for President Obama both times he was in office? But he's black. And that's an insult to me. I have to vote for him because he's black? What about his character? What about the welfare? There was more people on welfare with President Obama than any other time in American history. More black people on welfare than any other time in American history. People were naming their kids Barack and Obama. What did he do for us? I'm waiting. If he did something for the black community, let me know, please. Besides going on MTV or shooting jumpers in the gym. I could do that. Is he more black than me? I'll wait, man. We've been deceived, and there's more people that are voting for President Trump. Waka Flock, all these people, Little Pump, these people who said, no, I'm voting for Trump, got destroyed. Got absolutely destroyed. Democrats were the ones that created segregation. They're the ones that created welfare, reliance on government. They're the ones who approved abortion clinics. Margaret Sanger, the founder of the abortion clinics. Do you know why they were made? They were made to really exterminate the black people. But you're never going to find out in Black Lives Matter. No. Not with Black Lives Matter. Funded by old Georgie boy. Funded by someone who has direct ties to some deep stuff. I just felt like I had to talk about this, man. The Democratic Party's never done anything but destroy America. And all the cities with the protesting with Black Lives Matter, every single city that has been burnt down, destroyed, has been a Democratic-run city. Portland, Minnesota, or the state or city. You know, these towns and cities in Minnesota, in Portland, Oregon, Atlanta. Like, yo, black people, we've been duped again. We've been deceived again. We have nobody but ourselves to blame. Their goal is to make us believe, or actually their goal is to make sure we're not informed. We don't do our own research. They're going to say whatever they want to say. It is up to us to either agree or disagree. We agree with whatever they say, or we do our own research. We have our own thoughts. We have our own, we determine our own fate, not them. Not them. Again, President Trump has given to the HBCUs, to universities. We have had the lowest black unemployment rate in American history under President Trump. We are having the greatest economic boom until COVID. The pieces are starting to be put in the right spots. There is a pattern. I'm telling you, but this man never quit. Think about it. President Trump, a billionaire, decided to take on the role as president and took it on and with all the backlash and the hate and the disrespect and the lies, he kept on going. And now, at the end of his term, he gets this disrespect by these fake votes and the fraud? Oh, y'all just wait. Y'all just wait. This man, you seen the video of him walking out of the press conference with his head held down? Look of defeat. He just looked tired. I felt my heart broke for him. Even a lot of people who did not vote or who don't like Trump, they felt bad for him. Because after all he's done, this is how he gets repaid. And he won. We'll see. We'll see. But the major swing states had additional ballots at 4 a.m., 3 in the morning that weren't counted for. There's a lot of suspicious stuff going on. Y'all just wait. God is in control. God is in complete control. God knows what's going on. God knows the evil, and he's going to expose the corruption. And he's using Trump. Again, I'm not saying Trump is a savior. God is my savior. Jesus is my savior and my Lord. Trump is a vessel that's being used. You know, and if he's on the Lord's side, I'm supporting him. It's as simple as that, people. It's as simple as that. But the racism, lies. COVID lies. Don't go out and vote because of COVID. Then why is everybody celebrating his defeat? There's no room. The streets are filled with people celebrating his defeat. Why is there 10,000 people? You're not going to hear. You're not going to hear from the media. Oh, record spike of COVID. No, it doesn't serve their narrative. It doesn't serve their agenda. President Trump warned about the mail-in ballots. It's going to be bad. It's electronic. And my sister tried voting in Arizona. She had to use a Sharpie. A Sharpie for the first time in history of that state. They never used Sharpie until now. She won't find out until results by at least the 23rd of November, if the ballot even got pushed through. That's nothing compared to Pennsylvania and Michigan. Observers weren't allowed to observe? I thought, what about equality? Democrats can observe, Republicans can observe. One side couldn't observe the other. So, I'm in the military. You know what I'm saying? And if Biden's my boss, he turns out to be my boss, so be it. I'm going to serve my boss. That's the way it goes. However, at the end of the day, I just want, and a lot of Americans want, just fairness. Just fairness, man. Because when President Trump got elected, for at least 3 years, maybe even 4, it was going to this year about collusion. He never got a break. But when Biden gets elected, it's fair and square. Immediately, all the news corporations, Trump, yeah, Biden, president, Kamala, yeah, vice president, just like that. Nothing about collusion. Nothing about unfairness. The president has to talk about it. His son, the lawyers, they have to talk about what's really going on. They could barely talk about it because Trump brings it up. He gets censored on Twitter. He's using unfair. The dude is talking in his press conference about what's going on, and the media is interrupting his press conferences. CNN or Fox, he's talking like, we come back just to let you know that President Trump, what he's saying is incorrect, and what he's saying is completely false. And I'm like, whoa. First off, the man is talking, the president's talking. Talk about that after the speech is done. You don't do that to anybody else. Oh, no. They won't do that to Biden. They didn't do that for Kamala and Biden's speeches. Never interrupted, right? I'm telling you, the game is skewed. And we have been played. But God has the last laugh. This is all meant to be. We're going to see the corruption for what it really is unfold and be exposed. But we need to pray. And we need your prayers, people of God, and the American people. We need to pray for this country, because China has been waiting. All these other countries have been anxiously waiting for President Trump to go already. They can't do their dirty work. But he drained the swamp. He put $450 million into finding these missing children. This is all going to go away. the African unemployment rate, the low rate, the 450 million to find these kids, the laptop, the swamp draining is going to stop if President Biden becomes elected. Everything will go back to normal as is. Everything will be covered again. And we're back to square one. But have no fear, though. Regardless what's happening, my friends, God is on the throne. And everybody's got to bow the knee one day. Everybody. So, I hope you're all having a good one. Be blessed. We're going to make America great.